because they all realized that none of them other people had done it either, and they wanted to get their name on the list before they got charged with something. So again, an obscure legal finding against Mike Flynn, and the allegation is that somehow he's guilty of collusion. If he's guilty of collusion, charge him with it. If not, shut up, close up shop, leave town. All right. What did I promise here? He got me on a soapbox. Sorry about that. Clean Missouri. Have you heard of Clean Missouri? They call themselves an anti-corruption crusade. I would argue that when you've got the likes of George Soros backing you and every union in the world, you need to look deeper into what this is all about. Chris and I are joined by Sam Cooper, who's the executive director of the Missouri GOP. Sam, thanks for doing this on short notice. I appreciate it.
No problem. Glad to be on, Mark.
Hey, Sam, and happy congratulations on your engagement.
Oh, thank you, Chris. I appreciate it.
Yeah. You're going to join in the club.
Hey, on Clean Missouri, real quick, if you go to the website and you read this, it will paint itself as something with nothing but the best of intentions to clean up corporate greed in America and ban contributions. But when you look a little deeper, you also realize they're redrawing district lines and taking that ability away from legislators. Am I correct?
Yeah, Mark, you've hit the nail on the head there. And, even the name kind of makes it sound good. Before break, you kind of mentioned Clean Missouri. I mean, who doesn't want a clean Missouri?
Right.
I think we can all get behind a clean Missouri. But, the problem with this is they couch it in ethics reform. But what this is really about is redistricting. And, I'll just tell you, this would be a disaster for the state of Missouri. If you read deep into what they've written, there'd be one person in the state of Missouri that would draw legislative districts. And that person would be a statewide demographer. And the person that picks that person is the state auditor. Now, that just so happens to be the only statewide elected Democrat in office right now.
Imagine that.
It's funny how that works.
Yeah.
And this state demographer would be tasked with making districts as 50-50 as possible, regardless of where you're at, how deep red you are or how deep blue you are. You would be tasked with making the district as 50-50 as possible. And, Mark, that could mean non-contiguous districts. That could mean breaking up counties. That could mean, thin lines following a highway to get to a patch of voters that are more Democrat to make the district 50-50. And, if this passes and this gets on the ballot and they pass it, I mean, you could see a huge erosion in Republican majorities in the Senate and the House.
Yeah, it kind of tells you what they're after.
Sam, give an example of a type of district. I mean, I heard a district can go from like the 1st district all the way to like Columbia could be a district.
That's right. And so if you look at the actual initiative, and I'm not a lawyer, so someone's told me this, I'm actually a law school dropout, but we've had lawyers look at this, and there's parts of it that say it has to be a compact, contiguous district. But what they actually do is a drafting trick where that all relies on how 50-50 the districts are. So no matter what, it has to be a 50-50 district. So you could have a line up 49 Highway from Joplin all the way to Kansas City for a state Senate district to get it to 50-50.
That's unbelievable. I mean, I'm just thinking out loud here, but if you look at let's just pick, for example, a very Democrat district and a very Republican. Let's pick one somewhere out of the city of St. Louis or edging into North County, and you pick one out of somewhere in the middle of St. Charles County. If you had to suddenly make that a 50-50 district, you would drop something that looked like the crooked end of a dog's leg.
Yeah, there's no telling what these districts would look like, and frankly, it wouldn't represent what the people of Missouri think, right? We've seen across the state in the last 10 years a huge shift to Republican ideals, and what this is people like Planned Parenthood, Sierra Club, NARA, Empower Missouri, that have gotten their tails kicked at the ballot box year after year, and they're not going to give up on their agenda, Mark. So if they can't win at the ballot box, they're going to redraw the district so they can win.
That's exactly what's going on. I'm glad you brought that up because, believe it or not, the Post covered this, and I'm not quite sure how I missed it, but it's been so long ago, I'm sure they don't want to bring it up again. George Soros Open Society Policy Center donated $300,000 to a group called Move Ballot Fund. It's a St. Louis-based committee that only had $84 in its bank account before that. And 2 days later, they shipped $250,000 to this Clean Missouri group. They were trying to launder that money and get George Soros' name off of it before it got sent to Clean Missouri.
That's right, Mark. And the irony there, I'm sure, is not lost on you. But a big part of the Clean Missouri initiative is getting "quote unquote" dark money out of politics.
Yeah.
And so passing it through committees is kind of exactly what they're saying that they're trying to stop. But that's obviously not the case.
Wow.
Sam, is George Soros doing this in other states? Are there like Clean Arizona or Clean Texas, like other red states that he's trying to get redistricted in this crazy way?
Mark,
you know of?
Sorry, Chris, I don't know, but I do know that when Obama left office, Eric Holder and him started a group that will look at redistricting and also supporting candidates in down ballot races. So I do know that there's an effort by the Democratic establishment to start focusing on redistricting as we prepare for 2020. So I'm fully confident that there will be similar efforts across the country in red states where Democrats can't win on their ideals anymore.
I tell you what, Sam Cooper with the Missouri GOP, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Sam.
Thanks, guys. All
right, yep, take care. Good to get him on here. I wanted people to understand that about this Clean Missouri thing. So if you see these folks out trying to gather signatures, don't think you're cleaning up the stream down the street. It's not about the environment. It's about redistricting, and it's dirty. It's when you've got people like Planned Parenthood and the Missouri NEA and every union you can think of, SIEU. I mean, all of them have AFSCME. All of them have donated money to this group for one reason, because